Hello guys, Furphy's Loco here, and today I'm showing some customs I made. So, some of them were updated, some of them I made. So yeah, first off is Creed. Now, what did I do to Creed? In case you're wondering, well, he got some touch-ups. I weathered his tender. Like, I added some weathering to his tender. I'm not sure you could tell. Like, I just took some black paint, just dabbed it on with a toothpick, then just wiped it away to give him, like, make his coal look, like, the sides of his tender look dirty. And I also painted the underside of his boiler. I painted this part under his boiler black. Also, if you want to see a thing, I'm planning to do this. I mentioned in the last video, which is I have a thing I'm thinking about doing called Ask Creed, which is where you can ask Creed questions of like how his life was on the Great Western Railway, and so on and so forth. Kind of like how Ramafool did his Ask Thomas thing. It's kind of like that in a way. Oh, yeah. There. Now, onto the Bachmann Customs. First up is a black tanker. It was made from that raspberry syrup tanker I got from the train show, which I mainly bought it just to make a standard tanker out of it. That's the whole reason I bought it. So yeah, I just took it and just repainted it black. It could, like, carry anything like fuel, tar, or like, I'm not sure if, like, it probably carries some sort of, like, fuel. So, yep, next are two flying Kipper vans, or brown vans. So, these were made for my Bachmann mail cars, and I will be getting, like, I'll be making new Bachmann mail cars. Like, I was gonna get some baggage wagons from eBay, like, buy some 00 scale baggage wagons, and just paint them up into mail cars to use in my series. Yep, first what I did was I dismantled these, which this is one of the few times I've dismantled a custom, an item for customizing. And I just repainted it. Brown, and I used a toothpick to add the little details, and I do plan to put faces on these to make these troublesome trucks. But unfortunately, like, I can't really find many Shapeway wagon faces. Well, the Shapeway wagon faces are not cheap. Like, they're pretty expensive. So hopefully, if I can find more donors, like, next time I go to a train show, I was going to buy some trucks to pull the faces off of, to use on my locomotive, on my project, well, on my troublesome trucks. Or, I probably might get the Shapeway faces. I'm not really sure on that part. Next are the wooden railway customs. I've updated, some of these were updated, some of these are custom made. So, here's Percy, Edward, and James. Now, the mods I did to them, which Percy got hit, I painted Percy's running board black and gave him buffer beams on the front and back. And this was done earlier in the year, like, This was done in early 2019. I just took my old Hornby Percy, ripped the face off of it, and just stuck it onto the wooden. Mainly because it looks better than the original face. Next is Edward. I just did the same thing with Percy, but like my Creed over there, I weathered his tender. Like, gave his tender some weathering. And I will be giving him his proper 440 configuration soon. I just need to find a donor spare 6-wheel chassis donor. Like a suitable donor chassis. Next up is James. Like, he just got buffers and the black running board like Edward. And his tender sides have been detailed. Yeah, also, speaking of engines that were updated, Stanley also received a couple updates. He got buffer beams. Oh, there's something on his side. I'm gonna try to get that off. There, and I also painted this in to look like coal. I might give him cab windows in the future, along with the other engines. Like, they'll be getting cab windows too. Oh yeah. Now on to like the actual like wooden customs. First up is 13, or as I like to call 13, Lucky. Well, that's the engine I decided. That's the name I decided to give 13, Lucky. And I thought of this as a series idea, which is the idea I thought of. It was going to be a railway like with the pointless like railway series characters like those two engines from Toby Seaside Adventure, and like the magazine characters, like the engines there from like the magazines and background railway series engines. So, if you think I should do a series involving them, let me know in the comments. And 13, well, he won't be using the Earl Percy face series. I was going to make a whole bunch of individual faces out of Super Sculpey. Like, I was going to try to cut the old face off. And then just make a bunch of new faces for 13 out of Super Sculpey. Yep, next is a little truck. Yep, I'm not sure where this came from. It was probably some Playmobil load. And I just stuck it onto the cow car chassis. Just to make a little short wagon. For the narrow gauge engines to use. Yeah, and next my customs are RWS, Peter, Sam, and Rusty. Yep, this Peter Sam, I mainly painted him because he was in pretty bad shape. Like, he was pretty chipped. Like, he had a lot of paint chips. So I thought of just putting him out of his misery. And, oh, this little silver dot there, I will fix that after the video. Along like, give him his proper Giesel funnel. Like, the funnel that he uses. It doesn't look like this in real life. It's actually more of a triangle. I think the reason they made it this way, like this boxy shape, is mainly because mainly due to the fact that they could install a smoke unit in him, have a smoke unit in it. But yeah, I'll be giving Pearson a proper Giesel funnel soon. As well as, like, probably paint up the cab roof and coal load. on them. Also, interesting facts of Pierce Sam's funnel. The one that Pierce Sam used, like I mentioned earlier. A couple members of Wilbert's prototype, along with Rebecca's basis, had those on them. So, that's a little interesting fact. And next is Rusty. All I did was I used my Rusty as a guide. My other Rusty I had as like a guide for painting on the number and name. Yeah, I did some little details to the sides. And also gave him buffer detail. Yeah, now on to the last custom, which are in fact the tip wagons. Yep, these were Brio tip wagons. Like, 4 of these are Brio, and this one it was Thomas Wynn Railway one that I repainted. These will be used with the narrow gauge engines, since they look perfect behind them. So yeah, I just painted them up to look more realistic. So, yeah, and also the video of the cargo bin, like, showing off, I do need to get that uploaded. I uploaded, like, I made it a couple weeks ago, and I still need to upload it. Hopefully I can get it uploaded by today or tomorrow. So, yeah, it's already been filmed, and I still need to upload it, so, yeah. This is Furfused Loco, signing off.